Hello. I might use this so I can move. Cool. Hello, everyone. So I'm here basically to talk about social content, which is the title of today, The Secrets of Social Content. I actually have a confession because I changed my presentation literally last night because, well, I emailed it to Natalie and actually it was a bit of a sales pitch. It's about social media and why you should use it for your brands and how to sell Facebook ads. And actually, I didn't really think that's why all of us are here. And by looking at the attendee list, we're all creative people. I think there's filmmakers, designers, people that work in community management. And actually, I think it would be good if we all learned something. So I kind of changed it to what I actually know firsthand. So first of all, you are a brand. Each of us in this room is. And whether we want to believe it or not, we can actually do something with our personal brand. It's not a new concept. People have been saying it for years, and obviously if you imagine anyone that you follow, so a footballer or celebrity or Richard Branson, there are brands all around us, but it's not just Nike, it's not just Dove, it's not just Oreo, it's actually about people. And actually that's what social media is all about, and I think we forget that a lot. So what makes a brand, or what makes a personal brand? It's talent, it's PR, and it's differentiation. So what's really exciting about the new media landscape, which we don't really talk about that much, even though it's changed, is the fact that we can make the rules now. And not to say that journalists and old school media doesn't make a difference, because, well, it definitely does, and it needs to verify what we say. But the marketing world now is about leadership. So if we want to lead the way, and we can have the tools to do it, then that's quite exciting. Most brands think that if they spend a lot of money on advertising, they think that they can reach a lot of people, and they think that they can just yell at people. But actually, if you bring a bit of humanity into it, then that's really exciting. So, for me, this has really worked. And I know people think you should specialise in something, and you definitely should. But being a human brand and not being a job title is something that I think everyone should have a go at. At Edelman, I'm a senior account executive, but to Dove, I'm a global community manager. To Tony and Guy, I'm a UK voice for the brand. To Huffington Post, I'm an online journalist. To you, I'm a speaker. And to another publication, I might be a writer. So does that make me really thinly spread, or does that make me someone who can brand myself and do a lot of things? And I think it's something that's quite exciting. A few examples I can kind of name right now is someone like Jamie Oliver, who I said not to mention because no one likes him apparently, but I think he's quite good. If he just called himself a chef, then would he come across as a nutritionist that he is, and would he help change people's diets and help the world and help children, which I think he does? And if Richard Branson just stuck to doing his magazine, then would he have gone on to selling records and then going on to the internet and then being, an airline empire? So, and actually, sorry, I just need to say that because MySpace has just been updated, Justin Timberlake, not sure what he's doing, but I think it's okay that he's dabbling in technology. So my next slide. Blogging is free. I think this is amazing, and it's actually the thing that's changed my life and something that really helps me as a person. And blogging isn't something that you should do for something that you think you should do it for. And I find it something that just kind of helps me to, I forced myself to write just because it might pay off in the end. People might not read it. I didn't think anyone would read it. But it's also something that helps you discover what you're good at. Writing a paragraph in 3 sentences, that's something that can apply to all of us, I'm sure. Another thing that's free is a lot of platforms, and most recently, you've probably seen it, is the No Page 3 petition. Change.org is a free site, and it's now had 30,000 people sign it. And it's growing every single day. All the nationals have picked up on it, and it's literally one person just doing something on a free platform. So the medium is your message, and this is something that's really important. I know the social media bandwagon is not over and everyone wants to be on it, which is fine, and it is really good for some reason. But sometimes it takes a phone call to a customer when they're not happy, and a Facebook update is not going to solve that problem. I wouldn't write a blog post that's really personal and put it on LinkedIn, not appropriate. Twitter is great for something that you want to be shared, it's public. And Facebook, you want to talk to your friends, or you can subscribe to people, and I think that's a really important thing. This is also something that can be applied to campaigns, and I think people make this mistake of wanting to be everywhere, but that's not necessarily what you need. I think you need to decide on your objective. It's video based. Obviously you go to YouTube, but you also have a strategy surrounding your hub. If it's about writing a blog post, yeah, sure, use Twitter. But I just think the platform is really something that people have got to think more about, and actually it can just be around one. So this is actually a quote that I stole from Amy Jo Martin, which I wanted to put in here. But it's about people don't care what you do, but why you do it, which I think is so important. Everything that you do, if you want your social content to be spread, you want people to talk about it, you really need to make sure they know why you're doing it, and there needs to be an emotional value. There's a lot of people that I can name, and I think Steve Jobs comes first to mind, but Apple was about changing the world through technology and about entrepreneurship and about amazing, inspiring people, not about computers. And there's so many examples that I could list, but when you're working for a brand, or you're working for yourself, or you're blogging, or you're trying to promote yourself, just making sure that people know exactly why you're doing it is really key. Taking appropriate risks. This is something that I don't think people do enough of, because if you start a blog, people might not like it, people might write horrible comments, people might think you're rubbish, people might, you know, it's endless. But when I say appropriate, I mean you take a risk, which means if it fails, you can still carry on tomorrow. So I think there's two ways of not succeeding, and that's not trying, because you're not going to fail, so you don't know what's going to work, or failing so badly that you can't do it again. So with blogging, what I found, and this is the same with social media, it's okay if someone doesn't like what you said the first time. That is fine. You can do it again and again and again. If you write a tweet and no one retweets it, try another one. And as soon as you do it that way, you can learn more and more and more. Mass marketing is about selling an average product to a big audience. But actually, if you take risks, you can stand out from the crowd. And something that Seth Godin always says was, be the purple cow, which I really like. If you're on a drive and you see a field of cows, you're not going to take a picture of a cow and be like, it's a cow. You're gonna jump if it stands out, and if it's in your face, and if it's purple. And it sounds really stupid, but be something that's different. Don't follow the guide. Don't keep following brands. Don't look at competitors and follow them. Just try something new. Don't forget who you are. This is something which I think is obvious, but I wanted to put it in here because when you're a brand, this can be you as a blogger, or this could be you working in an agency trying to make other brands popular, is if you're not consistent and you don't have a consistent tone of voice, then who are you to sell yourself? If you're going to advertise to someone, if you don't believe in yourself, then why would anyone buy your product or even click your page? And I found this in my personal blogging as well, when writing on a UK site and then writing on a US site. I completely wrote about something I didn't actually agree with, just for kind of controversy. And actually, I mean, it was a risk that meant it didn't matter. But I think being consistent is really, really important. This is something that I find really, really interesting about social media, is that if you are, I don't know, an Irish tap dancer or something, you can find hundreds of other ones like you. You can be a feminist who agrees with pole dancing, you can be anything you want, and you can build a community around it, which I think is really great. Back in traditional media, it was harder to find those people, so you wouldn't be able to start a community about it. The Huffington Post started as a Greek politics blog, and people went to it and they enjoyed it, and then it expanded. And actually, it makes sense. You can find those people if you target them. This is another thing that I've found that is really, really important to spreading ideas and being creative and making content, is if you read much as you write, or actually if you read or consume or watch more than you write, or more than you make what you make, I think that actually makes you a better content creator. So if 60 of your ideas come from reading other people's things, that's fine. I don't think anyone can be completely original anymore. I don't know if that's something everyone would agree with, but articles spur me on all the time. Note how to ask. I guess this is the basic premise of PR, is that we're in an ask-based economy, which means if you're a small business or you're a blogger starting out, you're going to do a lot of asking. I ask lots of people if I can contribute to their blogs. I ask people to help me. I ask people to follow me. I ask people to read. I ask a lot, and I think that is something that you have to do. But knowing how to do it is also very important. People, I mean, I get emails sometimes to my blog asking me to do stuff for them. When it's turned on its head, I realise actually a lot of asks are very selfish, and actually it makes you not like them if they make you feel uncomfortable about something. If it's more about them and it's not about you, then why are they asking and why would you do it? So making sure you contact people when it's a mutual benefit, I think, is very, very important. And something that I started recently on the Huffington Post is a career chat series, which meant I get in contact with influential people. So someone from Channel 4 recently, a Vogue editor, a celebrity, supermodel, great contacts. But I am publishing something for them, so they're being put in the media and they want to tell their story, and I'm learning a lot more about them, and I'm also getting really good content. So this is something that I feel really strongly about as well. And this, I was actually having a conversation outside about this, and I was explaining why it's important to have a personal archive, which is on your site, somewhere that you own, where you can tell everyone exactly who you are and have everything in one place, which you can direct people to. And they said, well, why don't you just put it on LinkedIn? But actually, referring back to, I don't have a job title, how do they know who you are if it's just on a corporate social media site? I don't think that really explains who I am. I don't think it really explains who anyone is. I think if you have your own site, or you have bits and bobs here and there that make you good at what you do, it's really easy for people to get to know you. This is a quote from Seth Godin, The Simple Power of One Day. And this really struck me because his blog post, called this, which you can find online, is about how much stuff you can get done now with internet and with social media and how many people you can reach. And anyone that wants to start something or has an idea or wants to get popular or they want to get people out there just to see who they are is this phrase, because you can send 5 emails to 5 people and you can find those people online. You can craft amazing emails to them, you can tell them exactly what you want to do, you can write something, or you can write a press release, or you can write a blog post, or you can follow people on Twitter, and I just think it's kind of changed now with how many people you can reach in one day, and actually timesing all those days together, things work very, very quickly. And I mean, I got my job through sending a tweet to someone. I'd never met Natalie before. She asked me to do this talk, and I just think there's no real secret to it, because anyone can do it. But why is not everyone doing it? And I think it's kind of that whack-a-mole thing where the mole that stands up gets whacked over and over and over again. But if you want it that much, then just do it. Thank you. That's it.